And we are back. Bears franchise. And last week didn't go quite how I'd like it to. Um, as you can see, we didn't actually do this Seahawks game. We did this Packers game and then sim the Seahawks game. So we're gonna talk about the Packers game instead. Packers, they beat us 19-17. It wasn't close really. Our defense played amazing. For the first quarter, they were a top defense. In the second quarter, they slipped up, but second for four, they still played dominant. They allowed points and all that. And that's what sucks. Is the only reason we lost is because we were not able to turn the Packers' mistakes into points. The Packers made so many mistakes in the first quarter, and all we had to do, they made three of them. We had the ball in great field position three different times, and we didn't get any points out of any of them. We may have gotten a field goal out of one. And that kind of shows our team. You look, this game, we simmed this game, so we're not going to count it. 19-13, 24-21. These are all games where the defense has done well, forced the offense to make mistakes. Their offense, not ours. But our offense just hasn't capitalized on them. So it's unfortunate that, we're in these positions where we lose these games because our team does not capitalize. The Buccaneers, they have a rookie quarterback, Spencer Bowlen. We could take advantage of this. They got Leonard Fournette, obviously. They struggle with running the ball, so we're going to defend the short pass. We're probably going to... They're great at running defense, so we're probably going to throw medium. Probably going to go where they're the worst, or the best, I should say. But the best is only by like a point, 1.5, so... Now looking at the injuries, if we happen to have any. Defense, we are completely healthy, and special teams. And on the offensive side of the football, we've been completely healthy for a few weeks now. I believe practice injuries are on. I don't know why they wouldn't be. So I'm considering negotiations. I can negotiate with everyone you saw up to Justin Jones. Travis Gibson is interested in returning. Cameron Sutton is. Cole Kmet is. And Jalen Johnson has the slightest bit, not anything game changing. But I think we're just going to straight up go neutral here. And Cole Kmet is going to return for the next 4 seasons. Welcome back, Cole. And the rules are I'm allowed to negotiate on bye weeks, which is next week. So anyone on the bye week, which means week 8 we'll have Justin Jones as well, able to negotiate with. I'm allowed to negotiate on the bye week. I'm allowed to negotiate once we either clinch a playoff spot or get eliminated, or week 18 if we're fighting for a playoff spot. All negotiations must happen before the game, which is why week 18 is allowed. Say week 18 we're battling for a playoff spot. We haven't clinched one yet, but we're also not eliminated. We're allowed to negotiate before that game. Say we get eliminated or clinch a playoff spot on the week 15 game. That means week 16 through 18 we're allowed to negotiate. And also, I'm allowed to negotiate one time per player any week I want. So that's what I did with Cole Kmet. Say I negotiate with Travis Gibson. He declines. I'm then limited to only negotiating with him on the bye week and, the playoff scenarios. So I'm happy Cole Kmet accepted because That's a big player to get out of the way. I honestly should probably negotiate here with Travis Gibson. Depending on what his interests are. Big market Chicago, that's nothing gonna change. Historic champions. So nothing's really gonna change here. We're always probably gonna be a big market because of Chicago. It's Chicago, it's a big city. Historic championships. We've won one, I believe, the 85-86 season. And I don't think we're gonna change the scheme fit, maybe. Maybe we do, but I don't know. So Travis Gibson, we could probably negotiate now with, but I want to see more out of him. And then everyone else, you can see here, lack of interest. Jalen Johnson is not going to change his interest whatsoever because his is all affected by the state. And Darnell Mooney, he's interested for stuff like this. So if we can maybe have, I don't know if you can earn motivation tags, but if we can have Fields become a franchise QB or something, we could change the scheme fit. We can make him interested in a matter of, a week. All we have to do is change the scheme fit and have Fields become our franchise QB, which I'd imagine would mean you either have to be a certain overall, a certain development trait, or, you got drafted pretty early and you're on your rookie contract. Which Fields is, but he doesn't have the tag. And in my opinion, can't blame him. He hasn't played like he earned it. In fact, the big headline going into this week, one is week 7, the trade deadline is right around the corner. We could see some moves. We're probably going to stay put. We might trade a pick for a player, but we're not going to do player for player more than likely. And we have the ball. The Vikings win 42-37 over the Lions in a shootout of a game. They're going to rule it a fumble. And is that going to stand? Returned by number 89. Makes a man miss. Oh. That's... The ball's out. I think that's close. That's, in my opinion, one where you can't overturn it. I think that's going to stand a fumble because that was what was called. Oh my god. That saved. That saved. We have to check the linebackers. Jamin Davis. Matthew. Oh my god, that chain or saved. Shooting the back up to 2. Yeah. And everything saved. Slot receiver, slot corner. That's linebacker. Corner. Everything saved. Wow. Oh, they're gonna review it. I wasn't able to sim. And they overturn it. Great. So first attempt from the 22 now. We have the rookie quarterback, but not going to start with him. It's going to start with a run to Keyshawn Vaughn. See a man in motion. Quick throw is going to be complete under the middle to the 29. Already forgot this guy's name, Bowen. Third and 3. Please don't be a chunk play. It's a first down. That's fine. Sam Spencer. That's what we're going to check here. I'm able to view like stats of his. Spencer, okay. I'm not able to view stats. I have no idea when he was drafted, but obvious he's you know, replacing one Tom Brady, who is now in the Big Blue, over in the Big Apple with the Giants. And 21. Keyshawn Vaughn again. Is Leonard Fournette injured? The fact that Leonard Fournette hasn't got the carry. I'm sorry for backing out so much, but we're not injured, obviously. Leonard Fournette is out for the game, and so is Logan Hall, who they drafted in the first round, I believe, maybe early second. Probably early second, actually. Last season. Keyshawn Vaughn, though, he is lighting our team up. 3 carries, 30 yards. So, I mean, if you're getting it done, it doesn't matter. And he's going to maybe get a yard. Spencer Bowen is. Interesting fact as well, Kyle Trask, who the team drafted in the second round not too long ago, actually got released. Hence the reason why Spencer Bowen is wearing number 2. Kyle Trask wore number 2, but obviously no longer on the team. And I believe Kyle Trask is still a free agent. Maybe he's not. I'm not sure. The Patriots are winless. 24-17 loss to the Dolphins. But New England Patriots being potentially the final winless team. I don't know if we have any undefeated teams. And Mike Evans is down at the 4-yard line. First and goal for this Buccaneers team. So, what looked like early disaster in kickoff fumble has turned quickly, because, you know, obviously it wasn't a fumble, into a solid first drive by the Buccaneers. More than likely going to end in points. I mean, I'd imagine. Keyshawn Vaughn is up to the 3, 3rd and goal. Defense has to last just one more play. And they are down at the 1. Spencer Bowen currently 5 for 5 passing as well. And but it looks like they're going for the field goal. Kick is good, and backup quarterback for the Buccaneers wearing number 12. By the way, did some research on you know, some stuff, and we're gonna back out and see if this guy's still on the roster. I posted on Twitter, so if you're following me on Twitter, this is the intro wise, he's the same as my username on YouTube. You should go follow. Pathetic stat line. Finally, do they still have this guy? But the Buccaneers, at one point in time, they still might. They had a there he is, Shaden Ryans. Now, obviously, you can't see it, but when I checked, I don't know what DT stands for. Shaden Ryans, he has, I don't know if he still does. I don't know if, you know, he regressed at all. I don't know if he even can regress midseason. He's a rookie, I believe undrafted as well. Superstar X Factor. There was a few players I saw. There was, well, I haven't seen a few. I saw one other one who has Star Dev, which, fair enough. Star Dev isn't the biggest thing in the world. You know, definitely better than, you know, normal, but it's easy to develop an X Factor player at a 63 overall than a star player. Because you know, develop faster, the higher the dev traits. And the Darren Moody getting a reception. You get abilities. Fields is launching it one-on-one, and that's going to be pass interference on Carlton Davis. Speaking of cornerbacks on the team as well, Sean Murphy-Bunting returning to his old team. Obviously, he was one of our big off-season acquisitions. I mean, we could go on about ours. You know, Rob Havenstein, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Bobby Okereke, John Feliciano, Donovan Wilson, probably Pascal Kmet, Max Williams, Kenyon Drake, Calvin Ridley. There's the first quarter stats for those of you who are curious. Camus Grugier-Hill. I mean, the list goes on. Jack Fox. The list goes on. And majority of them are starting. What a play to get that ball out of there without it being intercepted. Tyler Huntley, Tyree Jackson, those are also two guys. They are not starting. Well, at the moment, at least. And Fields doing Fields magic. Wow. And the Chiefs are undefeated. I just saw that. But currently losing to the Chargers. Fields making, you know, magic happen. We're going to take a 7-3 lead. So that's going to leave Spencer Bowen and his team to lead a drive. I don't know how their team's going to do. Down at the 18, they haven't had greatest return. But about the first drive they had, these are 8 minutes quarters, by the way. They took it down to like a minute 40 left in the first. Compared to us, that's an actual fumble. That's probably going to be a scoop 6. Sean Murphy-Bunting scoring a touchdown on his whole team. I don't know who that was, but he fumbled after the big hit. And we now lead 14-3. Maybe Fields heard what I said about him. And how this was his potential last game as a starter. Obviously, we signed Tyler Huntley to 3 years for a reason. It was so, you know, Fields, with one, field pressured. He'd be benched if he didn't play up to standards. Nearly intercepted. 2, if Fields played horribly, enough to where he wouldn't be benched, but, you know, where at the end of the season, you know, he'd lose his job. So next season we have Tyler Huntley for a year. And Justin Jones goes out with an injury. He, I believe, is going into a contract year as well. So, you know, we gave him that free year, so on year 2 of free, he could potentially start depending on how Fields does. Because Fields, he's in his 3rd year, which means at the end of this year, he has the 5th year option. If we decline that, you know, he only has 1 more year. Looks like we're going to decline it as well. Huntley then has a year to prove. There's a flag. That's probably pass interference anyway. So yeah. If Huntley doesn't prove that he's a starting quarterback, we draft a quarterback and we can have a QB controversy, or we could just let Huntley start the 1st year and let the rookie sit behind. So we're planning heavily in the future. Because that's the thing with quarterback draft classes. In my opinion, you want to have a quarterback who is minimum a low tier starter. So then, you know, and you want to have them on minimum 2-year deal. Because in year 1, obviously, they're probably not going to play very well. But if they do happen to thrive in your system, then you might have a diamond in the rough. And then, if that does happen, you have him for an extra year. You don't have to worry about, other teams wanting to take him. A perfect example, in my opinion, would be the Jameis Winston Saints signing, how the Saints signed him to 2 years. Because, obviously you expect him to play the first year. He doesn't play good enough year 1. You could, they're going to say that's a touchdown. Year 2, you can have him, mentor a rookie quarterback. Because, quarterback's best position, maybe not best, but most important. You have to rely on the quarterback a lot. And in doing so, throwing a rookie quarterback into, the instant starter role is not the greatest idea in my opinion. Because obviously, normally, in good quarterback classes, you draft teams who finish with the horrible records usually draft a quarterback. Because, quarterbacks are quarterbacks. You want to have a good quarterback, and usually you get them at the early in the draft. Plus, they're cheap, which means, if you manage to find that quarterback, you have 4 or 5 years to invest in that team to make playoff runs before you have to pay that quarterback the big money. Whoa. That's Kmet? That's definitely not Kmet. That's Mooney. We're at the 2-minute warning. I've been rambling, but that's the thing. Because also, say the quarterback class isn't very good come, Tyler Huntley's final year of his contract to draft a guy because Tyler Huntley didn't prove well enough year 2. We can then have Huntley start for the year, let the quarterback sit and develop because obviously the quarterback class wasn't good. A prime example was the one where Kenny Pickett went 20th overall because there was teams who could have probably used a quarterback who were up there. Like the Lions, they probably could have taken the guy. The Texans, I don't know if they were up there or not. I don't know if they had their first round pick. Teams like that, because they could have. The issue was the quarterbacks weren't as good as years before, so it allowed teams to draft generational players other than quarterbacks. You saw like 3 defensive players, not defensive players, defensive ends go into top 5. You saw 2 cornerbacks go into top 5. 53-yard attempt for Cairo Santos. And then what? Picks 6 and 7 were offensive linemen. Pick 8, we finally saw like our first playmaking player, like quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end even. Pick number 8 was where we saw our first playmaker. Everything else was defense and offensive line. That showed how good that draft class was in terms of, not the interesting players that people would buy jerseys for necessarily, but players that would improve your team in terms of, what you want. So that was how that draft went. We saw a quarterback go 20th overall, and then after that, we had like 3 quarterbacks go in the 3rd round. And then we had like one go in the 5th, Sam Howell, and a few go in the 7th. But 7th round, you're not really expecting much. That's just kind of a Hail Mary. Like, well, if we get someone good, we got someone good. But it's not the end of the world if we draft someone. Like, you're expecting a lot more out of your first round pick than your. You gotta intercept that Jaquan Brisker. That was the big issue, and that's his first incompletion, by the way, Spencer Bowlen. That was our big issue against the Packers. I accidentally pressed exit. We batted the ball down instead of going for interceptions. That's actually going to take us to half. Oh. 3, 2, 1. Oh, last play. got Evans, but that's not going to end points. And that's going to do it for the half. We lead this game 14 to, or 17, excuse me, to 10. There's the stats. We're going to take a look at the halftime report. So far, doesn't mean it's going to continue that way. Fields played very well. That took a while. I got scared. Vikings and Lions. Vikings win 42-20 or 37. Kyle Meeks 5 touchdowns, 1 to Cook, 3 to Thielen. Jared Goff 3 touchdown interception. 2 of those went to Aguilar. Next we head to Houston, where the Titans win 45-24. Tannehill 2 touchdowns. Henry 2 touchdowns. Kyle Phillips with a touchdown. Davis Mills 2 touchdowns and interception, and Jacoby Myers with a touchdown and over 100 yards. And also over 100 yards. Next, we head to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the Eagles are beating the Raiders 14-10. Trent McDowell 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith a touchdown. Derek Carr touchdown, which went to Davante Adams. Here are the Buccaneers when it comes down to throwing the ball short. And here are the Bears when it comes down to throwing the ball short. So both teams having similar game plans. I believe we received second half kickoff. Yeah, because they fumbled and, we should have had the ball in my opinion, but, The reason, I already said it before, but the reason we should have had the ball is because they called out a fumble, and I feel like that was too close to overturn. If they would have called that, he was down, then I wouldn't have blamed them for saying, it's their ball. Because I felt like that play was too close to overturn. But here we are. David Montgomery. How many carries has he even gotten? I don't think he's gotten a lot. How many carries has Montgomery had? There's no way he's gotten like more than 10. Granted, he's getting involved in the receiving game. That's very weird that a guy who is, I believe, 5th in rushing is not getting any carries. Like, I understand our game plan, but like the game plan shouldn't be to take the run game out. It should be to just not run as often. Chiefs now leading 16-10. And there we go. There's Montgomery. He's got 4 rushes for 26 yards. So he's averaging what, 6.5 a carry? 6? Yeah, 6.5. Well, not anymore. Now averaging 5, which is still amazing. 3rd and 8. Come on. And there he is. Juan Broughton getting a huge play. He's been very quiet this season. He was a preseason standout to the point where we started him over Darren Moody. And for the record, both of them have been very quiet. There's the Montgomery I know and love as a player, not as an actual lover. First and 10, it's back to the man himself. He only gets a yard, but he's averaging over 5 a carry. You hear the crowd. Bears, Bears, Bears. Okay. Oh, that was Drake. That wasn't even Montgomery. 3rd and 7. I'm okay with a field goal here. Do not try and risk it for a touchdown or first down. I mean, if it's there, it's there, but... Okay, good. Take the field goal. 28-yard attempt. This will give us a 2-score lead, hence the reason why I'm so comfortable with this. With 3:09 left to go in the quarter. We lead 20-10. Fields had a solid drive there. Nothing to complain about. The concern is, though, he is 11 for 18. which isn't great. Spencer Bolin with a carry. But that's the thing with Fields. I'm okay with him having incompletions as long as he doesn't throw as many interceptions as he does. I'm fine with it. And Bolin's going to take off again. He's actually going to like run into contact. First and 10 from the 36 now. The handoff to Vaughn, and whoever number 36 is, great tackle. Jamin Davis, why is he wearing 36? Well, I can't change it now. Didn't he wear like 52 in Washington? Another run. That time gets stuffed by Courtney Ferguson, the rookie. I believe he was second, maybe third round pick, maybe even first. I have no idea how my draft went. I just know, you know, those two and Tyree Brooks went early. Heck, I don't even know who else we drafted. So, oh, I do actually. In the third, I believe we drafted Juan Broughton. In the fourth, we drafted Tony Holcomb. It's either that or in the fourth and fifth. But they punch, so like we're in great position. And a Montgomery run getting 5. The Eagles are winning 14-10 and now it's 28-10. I don't know what happened with the Raiders, but there's the third quarter stats for those of you who are curious. It looked like a good game between two good teams. Obviously, I don't know their records. I know Eagles had 1 loss and Raiders had 2. We're in week 7, so 5-1, 4-2 maybe. But I was right. So those are top 2 teams record-wise. And the Eagles are kind of dominating it at the moment. Ridley is going to be short by 2 yards. He's had a quiet season. Only 3 catches, 18 yards. The Chargers winning 24-16 over the Chiefs. That is huge because that extra point difference. If it was 24-17, that would be maybe a whole percent different in like probability to win. Because the 2-point conversion is never a gimme, neither is the extra point, but it's more of a gimme than a 2-pointer. They hand it off to Vaughn. He's going nowhere, losing a yard. 95. Thomas Booker, a 4th, I believe that was. I saw looked to be some letters that would indicate numbers. A fade. Going up and getting it is the man in the contract here, Jalen Johnson. And that might be the dagger. Granted, if we get a field goal, it's still a 2-point game, or 2 score. And with all 3 timeouts, it's not over. But if you know, we play smart and we just try and shoot his clock as much as we can, or just throw an interception right back to him. That works too. Really, Fields? Oh, and 66. I have no idea who 66 is, but we're going to take an injury timeout. Jordan Mailata. Why would I do that? We're stuck here for the next 22 seconds. Jordan Mailata, 66. Injury risk is medium. Hey, EA, do me a favor. I have Ben Jones. Oh, not Ben Jones. Brandon Jones. I believe his name is. Braxton Jones. It's Braxton Jones. Have him start. We're up 2 scores. I don't want our 87 overall left tackle getting injured. So start Braxton Jones. Well, maybe not even. We might not even get the ball back. And if we do, no, it might just be over. I don't think they'll really try. If it's, you know, like a minute left, no timeout. And it's first down us. Spencer Bowen, he's making some plays. They're up to the 37. If this was on their side, they have field goal opportunity, which down 2 scores, 10 points to be exact, is nothing to complain about. Kyra Gordon with a good tackle there. There was a decent amount of running room in front. Gordon didn't make that tackle. Thomas Booker the fourth, stuffing Keyshawn Vaughn. And you love to see it. 3rd and 5 from the 42. This is huge. They don't get it. 4th and 5. This right here is probably the game. They don't get it. They're going to be forced to waste timeouts, and that's just going to make it near impossible. And they get it. Russell Gage up to midfield. They only got 3:15 left to go. They are at midfield. They got probably at least another 10 yards to go before field goal range. Well, they got majority of that there. But in a tough situation like this, with the 4th down marker being around field goal range, do you just go for on 4th down? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. They're now in definite field goal range. You have time for at least one more play before the 2-minute warning. You have to. Bowen checks it down to Chris Godwin. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning, where we lead 20-10, but the Buccaneers, they still have 3 timeouts. And if I'm the Buccaneers, I'm probably taking end zone shots only. From here, like, I'm going 1 end zone play, if not kick the field goal. There is a flag, but it's intercepted, and I think it's going to be holding. And who is the man? Kyra Gordon with the interception. Holding on Donovan Smith, the left tackle. And that might just be the dagger. This ball, I don't know where he was going with it. Maybe he was just trying to throw it away. Looks like he's going he's going for 89. McLeland. But ultimately, it's a bad pass. Gordon plays it perfectly. And who is this McLeland? Jacoby Brissett's the guy wearing 12. Are you kidding me? Mike Evans, Chris Collins, Jose McLeland, 74 overall rookie. And the Eagles are winning 38-17 against the Raiders. So the Eagles dominated that game in the second half. 1st down ends it. And it's a keeper with Fields, and Fields runs into Winfield instead of going out. But that's fine, honestly. Make them waste timeout. They're down to 2 left. And I believe a 1st down would essentially end it now. Now it would definitely end it. 3rd and 3, 1:26 left to go at our own 35. Why are we throwing this ball? Kmet drops it. We give him the contract extension, and he drops it. The Chargers is winning 27-24 against the Chiefs. That is a close game. A great punt. Fair caught at the 18, and with 1 timeout, they got to go. They're going for a touchdown, 82 yards. I think we've won this. Quarterback's going to scramble and slide at the 27. Now a minute left. And just checks it down. Unable to get out of bounds was what he was fighting for. Under 40 seconds left to go now. You got to start taking deep plays, and mossing our guy, and Ryan Jensen gets injured, which, I mean, that takes our final timeout. So 34 seconds left. They're at our 46, R46. He's looking. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 37. And I don't know why you're not going for the field goal here. And the Chiefs lose their first game of the season, 27-24, to the Chargers. Incomplete to Russell Gage. You got 23 seconds left. 3rd and 1. He's going end zone. And it's incomplete. Sean Murphy Bunting with the lockdown coverage. That's 4th and 1. They're going for it. So this is the game. Already pressured. He just throws it. And it's incomplete. And we win the game. We finally snapped a losing streak of 5 straight. And that kneel down does it. We're going to be exiting this game with a win. Heading into the bye week, 2-5. It's not great. Spencer Bowen went 20. How much time do we have left, actually? We got time. Here are the stats. Receiving. How well did these two do? 1 for 29 and 1 for 5. See, they're not getting involved at all. Blocking. A sack allowed by Tevin Jenkins. Great. That's the only sack we allowed. Vita Vea is the one you got it too, so. Interception for Avante David, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson. Forced fumble by Sean Murphy Bunting. So he got this. He forced it and got the scoop and score. Kicking, both sides were perfect. I guess. One didn't even attempt any. Back Fox 2 for 95. Returning Drake is 3 for 63. Punting Drake 1 for 6. And well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Tevin Jenkins will upgrade you since you're the only one. Since you allowed a sack, let's get some pass protector. You don't go up anything. You're still a 76 overall. But you get pass block finesse, 2-1 awareness. And that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you guys next time where we'll have a whole episode dedicated to bye week. We do every year. And I'll see you next time. Trying to think, is there anything else? Fields, we'll announce it, is going to remain the starting quarterback. Let's look at our schedule. Assuming he doesn't have like the worst game all time, he will probably remain our starter until week 12. So maybe even week 11. So he'll guarantee play the Vikings and the Lions, assuming he doesn't get injured or throw 2 for 20 and 4 interceptions. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you guys next time in the bye week where we'll, offer our remaining guys to negotiate with. We'll spend our 68 staff points. We might make a trade or two for a, low value player. Probably because I don't really want to give up a top pick for, that. And yeah, goodbye.